is that international relations theory as we know it now, I mean, realism, liberalism, I mean, having these terms to describe, you know, what, how international relations works is a very new field of study. I mean, it's like not even 100 years old. You know, yes, we had Hobbes, yes, we had Machiavelli and Thucydides and whatnot, but and those might form the basis, you know, but they're more of like and Kant but they're more of like the philosophical basis. You're not talking about like actually applying them to international relations or foreign policy or explaining international relations that way. So this was just begun, you know, sometime in the early 20th century, and you know, just a lack of involvement, you know, by women in, you know, decision making. Unfortunately, you know, because they didn't have. I mean, they got the right to vote in the 20s, right, in America, and you know, just even getting women involved in politics in the first place has been, you know, has been strenuous. You know, America is still kind of trying to incorporate its whole population into the political process. And if you don't even have people participating in the political process, how can you expect them? A problem with the discussions that we're having, or maybe the lack of discussion that women have among themselves concerning our theory, is that you have to understand, at the very least, where, for example, realist theory is coming from. You have to understand what the basis of it is, even if you're going to reject it. I mean, a lot of liberalist theory is based on responding to what realists believe. And if you don't understand what realists believe, then you can't necessarily respond to it. So people who believe in realism, you know, believe that it is an accurate representation of history and reality, and it's based on the balance of power. And if you don't understand what a balance of power means, or that the interrelation of states is based on power, then you're going to have a difficult time, you know, proposing any alternative theories. You know, if I think that's probably what it is. I mean, when on this paper it says that the masculine traits are valued and feminine traits are not. If you believe that it is a question of power among states, and that is the way that states interact, then alternative theories, you know, suggesting a nicer way of going about things is not, you know, going to hold much water.
I mean, I think it's clear where realism comes from, that all these people were writing in a time of war, you know, Hobbes in Europe, and then, you know, post World War II and stuff. I think it's more that the difference is I don't think we see the world in that way. And how you were saying, like, empathizing, I think it is hard when you don't see the world as just power dynamics and all that stuff. Then, you know, in both your everyday life and your conception of the way you don't see power as, you know, soft power, and kind of, you're just like, you know, it's all about hard power and who can do what they want to do, and not so much, well, who has the capacity but can't really do it. Because, I mean, all those kind of intricacies, if you don't really see that on an everyday, that's just not the way you see the world, then I think that's where the dividing line is. Right?
In my mind, an accurate description of the debate is not realism versus feminist theory.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. It's not like a liberal versus realist theory. Like, to me, feminist theory is sort of overarching.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as constructivism isn't really like a third theory, it sort of takes upon all the
mm-hmm.
different theories. In my mind, it would be too simplistic to say this is a realist theory and feminist theory opposes realist theory.
Right.
Because I view mine as as a feminist view of the world, just in general, but I'm not opposed to realism at all.